So here is a mulligan for Idea Wednesday, take two. I will try to be short. The first meeting lasted about 30 minutes, so we'll see if we can, how close we can get to 30 minutes. Invest 30 minutes in this reread, and I think you'll be okay. You'll get all the points that I want to make. But first of all, I want to give you an update on yesterday's scheduled cold call. If you remember, I had a call last week, and a gentleman picked up the phone and called me. I didn't recognize the name, but he used the hook, the value and the power of the hook. And the hook in this case was University of Massachusetts. I attended that school. He mentioned that word early in the conversation, got my attention. We chatted and scheduled a cold call lunch for yesterday at the Brews Room down in Delray Beach. As I was leaving the house to go to meet this stranger for lunch, who knows what was going to happen? It was one of those things, you roll the dice. Seemed like a nice guy on the phone. He called and he had to cancel the meeting. There you go. He had to cancel the meeting. And the point is this. Number one, don't underestimate the power of the hook. Hooks work. If you have dogs, the school you went to, the town, the state, find something common with the person you're talking to. Open with that. It's called a hook. They will give you the benefit of the doubt early in the going, and it works. And it worked in this case. And we had a luncheon appointment. He had to cancel, which is lesson number two. Stuff happens. Folks, when you get hit from behind with a disappointment, if in whatever the case, a cancellation, you're bulletproof. You're a professional. You've been there. Your attitude is, hey, is that all you've got? Is that your best shot? Come on, let's get on with life. He canceled the meeting. I said, don't worry about it. Reschedule. Life goes on. And I want you to remember that you're bulletproof. You're one of the best. When things don't go wrong, you don't get frazzled. Come on, that's the way it goes. Stuff happens. There's an old saying, when you're betting against you or the world, my money is on the world. You know, you're not going to beat the world. Life unfolds the way it unfolds. You go with it. He had to cancel. I was okay. We'll reschedule. Stay tuned, and I'll find out where this cold call leads. But that's the local wrap up on the cold call. Now, I want to emphasize the point to know what you are looking for. Know what you're looking for. Too many people, you're out there looking and searching and hunting and pecking and seeking, but you don't know what you're looking for. So therefore, you don't know if you're going to find it or not. It could come right in front of your eyes and you don't even know it. And the analogy I use, of course, is the F slide. And I've used this for 30 years. Look at the slide and count the number of times you see the letter F. Now, it's not a trick. People who have seen this will know exactly where I'm going with it, but the newcomers won't. How many F's do you see right there? And most of you will say 3, and most of you will be wrong. And some of you will say 4, and you'll be wrong. And some of you will say 5, and you'll be wrong, because you got to know what you're looking for, and you're looking for an F. And finished, right here, finished starts with 1. And if that's 1, then we'll go with files. Oops, we'll go backwards. Hold on. Files. That's 1. And then scientific. That's 1. So there's 3. 1, 2, 3. But if that's an F, then there's 4. And if that's an F, then there's 5. And if that's an F, then there's 6. So we know what they're looking like. We know what they look like. So now I ask you, how many F's are on the sheet? You look, bingo, you see 6, no problem. Why am I telling you this? Easy. Listen to me now. This is major. This is major. My wife is 64 years old, and yesterday, our neighbor downstairs, who was going back to Buffalo, left some goods with us that she didn't need, and one of them was a can of coffee. And my wife, in 64 years, never saw the can of coffee in her life, never recognized it. I didn't. 64 years, I've never ever heard of that coffee. Then this morning, she picks up the newspaper, and there, right smack dab, right there in front of her, was an ad, and there was the coffee that she has not seen in 64 years. Now, the can that the woman left us looked like that. That's a real, I took a picture of it. That was this morning. That's what she left. That's what we saw in the newspaper the very same day, after 64 years of never, ever, ever seeing it. Why? Well, easy. My wife didn't care about this. That's not our brand. We don't care about it. Once she was introduced to what it looked like, she spotted it. There's the F, there's the 6Fs. I spotted it. Now, the message to you, the big message, nobody cares about you. Nobody knows you're alive. There's people in your marketplace that don't know you exist. They just don't know you're there until you tell them you're there. And when you tell them you're there, that's when they'll start noticing you. And you tell them in emails, and you tell them in sales letters, and you tell them in seminars, and you tell them in speeches, and you tell them in telephone calls, and you tell them with signs on your car. You've got to tell people that you're alive and well. I told you this for years. Your biggest problem is visibility. Not enough people know you're alive. We didn't know about NICE. I can't buy it. I never knew it existed. Now I know. Your job, get more people to recognize you as a choice when it comes to travel. That's your job. Okay, enough said. This happened also this week. I had to share this with you. Down in Florida, they have lawyers for everything, and you fall down, you need a lawyer. You sue people, you bump into a car accidents, you get a lawyer. Everybody needs a lawyer for everything down here. Well, and what they do is they go on commercials, and the lawyers are in the commercials because they want to show you, hey, this is what I look like, this is who I am, and this is me, and this is my commercial, and I can sue somebody and make you a lot of money. That's the deal. But yesterday I saw a very, very clever commercial because uh, the commercial itself said this. They didn't say I went to law school. They didn't say we have smart people. They didn't say I'll make you a lot of money. They said we call people back. Now, is that what the customers want? Yes. Just call me back. Just let me know you're listening to me. That's what I want in my lawyer. I know you're all smart. I know you all can do whatever you do, but not everybody will call me back. Not everybody will make me feel important. Not everybody will make me feel welcome. Not everybody will answer my questions in a timely fashion. We call people back. There is your 4-word advertisement for the next 5 years in the travel industry. You're a dime a dozen. You're another lawyer. I don't have to go far to find a lawyer or a travel agent, but I do have to go far to find someone who'll talk to me, who'll call me back, who'll treat me like the person I want to be treated as. That's important. That was on my television yesterday. I hope you get the point. This came in from one of our members. I just wanted to use this to stimulate your thinking on how marketing works or how it's supposed to work. Now, this is a flyer that was attached to a sales letter. Now, I want to say this before we get started. There is no such thing as downtime in your business. There is no downtime because when you stop being busy, it's time for you to get busy. Busy by writing letters to people, emails to people, calling people, to actively go out and introduce yourself to more people. So there is no downtime. And this gentleman said, there's a little slow period, so I want to send these out to priests, to pastors around my town and introduce myself to them. And I said, that's great. I love that. Send letters, send the flyer. But here's what I want to drive home today, and I hope you're listening to me. What is the purpose of writing a sales letter to somebody? Okay, now think about that. What is the purpose? Then, what is the purpose of including a flyer like this one in the sales letter? What is the purpose? Why are you doing it? What's your goal? What's your objective? Why am I sending a letter to somebody who doesn't know me? Okay, well, here's what I'm going to guess. Theorize. Maybe the word's theorize. You can't sell a group-based, faith-based travel program based on a flyer or based on a letter, piece of paper. Yeah, I don't think you can do it. The only way you can do it is if you sit down in front of me and we establish some level of confidence in each other, some level of relationship, some level of trust, and then we move forward in bringing a lot of people over to Rome or Jerusalem or wherever we're going. That's the way it's going to work. So if that's the case, and I believe it is the case, then the purpose of your letter and the purpose of your flyer or brochure in this case is to get the sit down, is to get the appointment, is to get the meeting. That's the purpose. So, what can I say in my letter that will get me an appointment? What can I show you in a brochure that will help get me the appointment? Because that's the objective, not to sell the cruise or the group. Now, let's look at this and see if we can go to school on this. Look at that picture on the top. All I ask you is this. I'm not criticizing. I'm just using this as an example to learn. What does that picture do to help stimulate me to give you my time in a meeting? What does that picture do? Or that picture on the top left, this one over here. What does this picture do to stimulate my wanting to meet you? Or this one? Or this one? I mean, I don't think I don't think these photos are helping get to your objective. This big headline provides diverse options for couples, families, and groups seeking an enriching spiritual experience. Now, I'm not going to make any comment about that headline, although I like the size of it and I like the positioning of it. But now I'm looking down into the smaller print. What does this have to do with me getting an appointment? Not that it's not good. How can it be better? How can it be better to help me achieve my objective? Now, what if, I'm just guessing now, I just want you to think, whatever your answer is right. I don't think like me, but what if this paragraph was a quote from a satisfied parishioner after taking a trip saying, my life is now complete, Father so-and-so, you having organized this group meeting to Rome. Thank you so much for taking the time for doing that. My life is now thoroughly enriched. Now that's a paragraph instead of whatever that says. And here's a second one, and here's a third one. So 3 testimonials from people who now can die happy. I think that would help me get a meeting with you better than whatever this says. I'm guessing now. I think that a picture of a smiling adult couple here is going to help me say these people are happy that they took this trip. I think that a happy parishioner is going to help me get the meeting faster than a picture of whatever that is. Okay? So just a thought. So here's the lesson. How can we get the meeting? What can we say to get the meeting? What pictures can we show to help people feel comfortable to give us the meeting? That's what we're trying to do. Let's look at this. You may find one or more of our group travel opportunities coming in the next 10 months of interest. So what they're doing here, and this is called stirring the pot. Who's out there listening? Who can I talk to? And here we're saying we're active, we're happening. In the next 10 months, we have a series of group trips going on. From June until February, we're happening. And they're to Italy and France and Alaska and California and the Caribbean. And my organization is happening. And if you want to sit down and talk to me and talk about this or any other destination, let's do it, because travel is cool. I'm here to help you. Let's get organized. So these short little stingers, I think, are a great idea during your downtime. This letter sample, this was a draft, came in, and I was asked to take a look at the draft, and I gave my opinion. I liked it. I really liked it. But watch this now. It says up here, faith-based travel is the fastest growing trend. It says, okay, holy cow. And I'm a priest, because this is to me, whoa, I'm missing the boat. There's a trend going on. It's the fastest growing trend in our country, and I'm missing the boat. And look, yet fewer than 3% of guys like me are traveling with my parishioners. 3%. So I looked at that and I said, well, if that's true, what headline on this letter could maybe grab the attention? And 97% of pastors are missing the boat. 97%. Are you one of them? Are you missing the boat, Padre? Well, to me, that headline would drive them down into reading this letter. And then after you say what you're going to say down here, I then want to personalize it again by bringing the pastor's name back into the picture. Hey, I'm Pastor Bob, I'm still talking to you. Your time is important. I understand that. I value your time. And if we meet, I promise to be brief. I promise to have done my homework, and I promise to remain on point. I'm not here to waste your time. And while I'm there, we can discuss many attractive possibilities, not just these, but many possibilities and options. Let's set up a meeting and talk. Because until you talk, nothing's going to happen. The flyer's not going to sell it. The letter's not going to sell it. Me sitting in front of you is going to establish the initial rapport, so we either move forward or we don't. So those are my comments on that particular letter I want to share with you. Some like it hot is the next slide. And what do I mean? Well, some people like hot soup. Some people like hot weather. Some people like hot buttons. Ooh, a hot buttons. Ooh, you've heard people say, ooh, the guy knows how to hit my buttons. We all have buttons, good buttons, bad buttons, hot buttons. We have buttons. To push my buttons and we got a problem. But we also have hot topics. Ooh, I like that. Hot topics. Obamacare, hot topic. Russia, hot topic. The NCAA basketball tournament recently was a hot topic. The number of hurricanes forecasted in Florida next year is a hot topic. So we have these hot topics. So how do they affect me or you as an entrepreneur? Well, let's see if we can take advantage of hot topics. Let's see if we can engage in communication with our prospects and with our clients over these things called hot topics. Now, how can we do that? Does this bug you too? And then you report something to me that bugs you. Now I have to respond to, no, that doesn't bother me. I've learned over the years not to let that bother me. I have to pick my battles. That doesn't bother me. But I'll tell you what does bother me. And then we go on and we have a dialogue, because that's what it's all about, is communicating with our prospects and our customers. So does this bug you too? I think that's a great way to open up a blog post. I think it's a great way to open up a letter or an email, because people are going to follow. They're going to go to the next sentence. They're going to find out what bugs you, and they're going to have a feeling on it. The elephant under the rug. That's what's out there that we're pretending is not out there. If you pretend that bleeding heart thing is not out there, then you're making a mistake, because there's a virus going on, an Android virus, and it's out there. And if you pretend it's not out there, then you're hiding it under the rug. But an elephant under the rug can't be hidden. Dust can be hidden under a rug, but not an elephant. So you can pretend you're hiding something, but you're just in denial. So what's out there that needs addressing? What's out there that needs addressing? Does safety on cruise ships need addressing? Does safety in Jerusalem need addressing? Does different questions about river cruising need addressing? What's the elephant under the rug? And if whatever it is, address it. Be the one. It's there. As soon as you address it, the sooner you're going to bring it out in the open. So that will bring topics out in the open, and you'll have dialogue. Number 3, which one should I go with? People like to be asked their opinion. I'm thinking about an Android and an iPhone. Which one do you think I should go with? There are pros and cons on each one. Well, should I go to Disney or should I go to Alaska? There's pros and cons. What do you think? Ask people what they think. Give them an A or a B and ask them what they think. And they'll tell you, and you engage with them, and then you have a dialogue. And that's what business is all about, creating dialogues. I'm going to say something. Click if you agree. I like that too. I'm going to say something. Click if you disagree. I think everybody in America should carry a gun. Do you agree or disagree? Well, that's going to create some dialogue. I think everybody in America, I think marijuana should be in the dispensing machines all over the country. Do you agree or disagree? You see, it's going to create some kind of dialogue. Now, I'm not suggesting you go into religion. I'm not suggesting you go into politics. But there are some things that we can talk about. And you might want to stay away from the Yankees too, because I've never had a good conversation about the New York Yankees in 50 years. So stay away from that one. So there you go. This was Idea Wednesday. We couldn't go live because I hit a glitch in the software, so I had to do this mulligan, the redo. I hope this makes sense. Listen to it again. If you missed a couple of points, they're all there. They're buried. I always have points. They're just buried. If you don't understand me, slow it down. Listen again. The points are there. Send me an email at mike@mikemarshev.com. I'm going to be sending out a video I've just completed on the river cruise in January. It's a fun little deal. And I've also done a video on my sales book. So I'm going to share that with you just to show what I'm up to, just to show you how some video might work in your world. And we can talk about that someday. Joe By just got back from an AMA Waterways trip. We're going to ask Joe to fill us in on that trip next time. And Milani is going to hold a sales meeting and talk to us about group travel as it relates to faith-based organizations. So that ought to be a great sales meeting too. So all of this is coming. Stay tuned. I'll stay in touch. Uh, just to save you some email, I believe that my emails are being duplicated again. I have no idea why. I'm looking at it, but don't let it bother you. Just delete it. Go on with your life. Don't let the mosquitoes bother you. That's a mosquito. Worry about the elephants, not the mosquitoes. So there you go. This was it. Wednesday, Idea Wednesday for April. I believe it's the 16th. Over and out. I hope this records. I'll talk to you. Let's try that again. I'll talk to you next time